why haven't you done anything for Gamble and Huff? And I said, well, Gamble and Huff are busy, and I'm sure I'm busy. I mean, I have Studio A booked a year at a time, Monday,
Wow.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at night. I mean, and I was coming down from New York, so I come down on Monday and then I go back. I never slept on a Thursday because I would work right through and drive back to New York Friday morning. But and they said, well, we don't need each other. I mean, they're busy doing their thing and I'm busy doing mine. Well, we try to keep it in the family, I'd say. And the first thing that came to mind, I said, oh, I'm not the guy from New York anymore. I'm in the family because, yeah, it's the guy from New York. And they said, what's the guy from New York coming down here? Who the hell does he think he is? And I said, it has nothing to do with that. I like the sound of the room.
Wow.
And so he gave me 3 albums, like acetates. These are albums that were in the can, meaning they hadn't been released yet. And I listened to them. And the one album I kind of liked, I liked one song, was by People's Choice. And I said, that's the one I want to go in with. And I said, but I want to do it at 309. It's still Sigma, but it's in Gamble and Huff's building. Well, why do you want to do it there? I said, because I need that bass sound, and I'll never get that bass sound in Studio A. I just can't get it. And I said, okay. So I went over there and worked on it. And I did everything wrong, to Gamble. So I did it. And I worked with Joe on that, by the way. My mind just went.
You were at 309.
Yeah, I did it at 309 because of the bass sound. So I played it for Gamble. He didn't like the intro. He says, why don't you do one in 212, because you're always working it. I said, Kenny, I'm never going to get that low end I like. And I did it. And he says, no, you're right, but you got to change the intro. I says, Kenny, look, I'm not charging you for this. And this is something Harry said, show them what you can do. And I said, well, I took this song and I felt that I could do something with it. I said, release it. I mean, what have you got to lose? They put it out, and 6 weeks later it became #1. It was do it any way you wanna.
Yes.
And the thing Kenny didn't like was that whack. And I couldn't tell him why I did that, because I said, I know it's going to be a big R&B hit because that's what I was going for. And I said, when you smack somebody across the face, you better have something else to back it up with. That's why that whack, boom, 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 boom. I mean, it was so aggressive and so funky and nasty. And I said, I never get a chance to work on something like that.